Off, I'm going to do the manual. This is actually 4 pages. In my initial MakeSkyBlue video, I didn't know that. It was so slick and so folded well that I didn't know there was the interior. So this is the interior you missed. I'll do the exterior too here. It's kind of done funny. Hope they're getting that pretty good. Yeah, you can pause the video and read to your heart's content. If you've been on my videos before, you know what I do. Then you flip the page. Okay, so here's some user notes. The first video kind of was an unboxing video. Today we'll go over some things I've noticed. And other video was pretty popular, so makes me want to do some more. So first off, to wake up the CPU, central processing unit, you got to have a good 12 volts, okay? If you don't, it won't even turn on. So make sure you have 12 volts. And I'm playing around with the Edison nickel iron batteries right now. They had some issues, so what I did was I bumped it up with a battery charger, you know. Bumped up the voltage, and then this thing woke up. Once it's awake, the voltage can drop below 12 volts. I've seen it go as low as 8.5. I think it goes lower, but I wasn't paying that much attention. I'm not going to stare at it and wait for it to blink out. So once it's going, you're good. To set it up, you don't have to unless you're setting it up for lithium. That's what the manual says. Of course, they didn't understand I'm going to be using this for Edison nickel iron. And so, yeah, I might as well do this. Hold on here. So, I made these notes. There was a company a long time ago called Trace Engineering. They got bought by Xantrex. They then got bought by Schneider. But somewhere along the line, they had charge controllers, not MPPT, but the old style. Anyway, they had parameters to set nickel iron. And so these are their old parameters, all the way back from Trace Engineering. So for 12 volt, you want 16.8 bulk, 15.5 float. For 24 volt, you want 33.5 bulk, 31.0 float. For 48 volt, you want 67.2 bulk, 62.0 float. So those are good numbers for Edison nickel iron, probably other nickel iron, and probably nickel cadmium too. So those are the numbers. It's a good little bit of info for you. So anyway, but this charger out of the box is rigged for lead acid. Right out of the box, you don't have to do anything. But to program it, you hit this, and then the manual will walk you right through it, how to do it. So it says to program it, then unplug it from the power source, and then replug it in to make sure it hooked in the new programming. So with me having to daily dance with a exterior charger and all that, I'm just gonna let it go. Lead acid parameters are mild for these type batteries, so it's not going to be an issue if it didn't hook this time. So what I got plugged in were some old derelict panels, factory, I wouldn't say seconds or thirds, I'd say factory rejects, almost just ugly panels. Hopefully they hold together. I got them real cheap though, but as far as I can tell, they're probably made for 36 volts. They're mono, and I have 4 of those put together. These are the ugliest panels you ever saw. Just weird bubbling. They're not cracked or anything, just weirdly put together. I got them real cheap though. So I think they're 36 volt panels, because I don't see a voltage above 42 or so. And it is getting dark. It's a couple days after December 25th here. So anyway, this menu is really neat. I kept the plastic on in case there was a short or something. I'm not sure. I don't think there is, but it's all perforated anyway, so might as well leave it on until I figure out where I want it. At least its final resting spot. So you can see on here, and what I don't like about the other videos on this is they don't linger on this display so you can tell what's going on. So I'm going to do that for you. So you can see a little sun sign. There's a charge, word charge above that arrow. A little battery emblem. That's based on, the charge of that thing is based on the parameters you set, or the default parameters. Then another arrow with the word out above that, that's for the exterior port. And the manual says don't put anything very strong on it, because it can only handle like a couple volts, that's it. Or was it 5 volts, something minor like that. I had an LED light on there, like for a car or a SUV or a 4x4. It worked okay. So don't put much on there. I plan to put like a little DC fan on there to cool it for the summer, extra cool. Anyway, so that's what that is. Let me get this on here better. So that little light bulb says that port is energized, but there's nothing on it right now. PV is photovoltaic. Like I said, those are weird 36 volt panels. The figure to the right corner, bottom corner, 39 watts. 4 panels are putting out 39 watts. Yeah, it's dim outside, and these panels have like leaves frozen to them and stuff, so not a whole lot. So we'll go down, and you got up and down menu arrows for a menu. Oops. Oh, it's backlit too, 100% of the time. Even more so once you start fooling with it. That looks crazy backlit. No, there's something too bad. So what I'll do is I'll let it time out, and I'll go back to this small backlight. For some reason, it's just too bright to register on this video right now. So we'll let that settle out. And I press a different menu display, and you'll see what's going on. Let's see other notes while we're waiting. The if you didn't notice, there's 2 positives, 2 negatives for the PV photovoltaic, and the manual says if you have extra panels, it's best to divide them between the 2 ports. I've never seen that before. So you'd have an array. You take your array, you have it, and then you put half on one side and half on the other. So that's why there's 2. Maybe it's a load bearing setup or something. Come time out. So I do like the fact that that's backlit. I can show you some of my other charge controllers while we're waiting. These are the first MPPTs I've ever had. the Eco-Worthy brand. I had 3 of them going. One failed because I was messing with it under load and it screwed it up. I couldn't detect the voltage and calibrate the input, so that's gone. This is a replacement, but they changed the mounts ever so slightly, so it won't go back to where the old one went. But these, they're not backlit. They backlit when you press something, and then they tell you what's going on. So, this settled down yet? Yeah. Okay. Oh yeah, those Eco-Worthies, they're only 20 amp max. This one is the 60 amp version, MakeSkyBlue. 60 amp input. Okay, so here's another display. The top's the same. The bottom has changed to, it shows for battery voltage, 11.4. And then the other display has changed to the amps, what's going in from the small wattage. See that? Okay, I'll change it, one of these again. Do that one already. Oh, there's only 2. There's only 2 displays. Oh, there's another one. I'll show you that. I'll show you my other MPPTs. I don't know if it's bright enough over here. Don't look that way. You can probably hear them pretty good. Okay. So I got 2 of these. This is a 24 volt lead acid system. These aren't backlit, and I'll tell you, it's aggravating to have to press this all the time to see what's going on. So good on MakeSkyBlue to fix that. Maybe it's to save power. I don't know why these don't do it. But these are Intronics. Right there. Very reliable. Unfortunately, they sold out. They were going for about 280 bucks, 75 amp, but they're all sold out on eBay. All sold out. So I wanted to get more of these, but they're sold out. So that's what finally made me go with the MakeSkyBlue. And this is a different array, better condition panels, polycrystalline, but they're better shape. They're BP panels, British Petroleum, back when they still made panels. So that's the other MPPT. So anyway, we'll go back and okay, turn this out. Okay, here's another display. It's too close. Right? Top's the same. That doesn't change. It's a fault display. So when there's a fault, a number will come up right here. And you take that number and you look in the manual. And it'll tell you what's going on. I've had 2 faults so far, which is low battery voltage and no solar input or something. Obviously when you're putting it together, those are pretty easy to fix. And once you fix them, the number goes away. That's cool. So that's it for all the... there's one other one. You hit this to program it, and you need the manual. It'll walk you through setting up the float voltage and the bulk charge and all that stuff. Just look on the manual what I put it for in my video. Put it at the front so you won't have any trouble finding it. So yeah, that's in a nutshell what I've seen so far. When you first turn it on, the fan goes through a self-test. It'll come out, it'll whirl on and then stop. It's really cold right now, so the fan's not going. You know, there was one other display. It had the temperature. I remember that. Where did it go? Where did it go? Let me find it. There we go. That's the last display. Okay, so we'll wait for that to time down. That look at the nickel irons. So I got this string. It's a A4H. It's a string of 1.2 volt Edison batteries. I got an eco worthy. I'm not charging those. Right? They don't make too much sound. I think it's because they have extra capacity of electrolyte. The H stands for high. They're built higher so you can put more electrolyte in them. These are A6s. I think they're from a lighting plant or something, or a forklift or something like that. I originally wanted to have 20 to have a 24 volt system, but most of them are damaged, like pinhole problems, like rusting. So these are the best 10 of them, and even these are having some issues like being dented or rusty or missing caps and stuff, but they're built to last, and so far so good. I mean, they're doing alright. Built to take a beating, keep going. So that's a string off of the MakeSkyBlue. And then that light there is coming off of the A6s here. So I've got some more coming in, some A10s. Hopefully I can get a 24 volt off of that, because that's what I'm set up for, is 24 volt. That down there is my first set, lead acids. They're okay. 613. They're not. I mean, it's 2017, so it's been like 4 years. They're getting weak. They don't do as good as they used to, and that's what made me want to go to nickel iron. The battery that keeps the outlive use, supposedly. Okay, so this is a temperatures page, and the output. I believe the output is down there, OU. So maybe there's an issue. There certainly isn't a load on there. There's a condition, I don't know. Anyway, but I believe that, if I'm not mistaken, the output is supposed to be the watts coming out of that right there. And obviously there's nothing hooked to that, so it's a little weird. The other one is the temperature. The other one is the temperature. That's 21.2 Celsius. I think that has to do with, there's a thermometer in there. When it reaches a certain temperature, the fan will pop on. I think that's what it's for. I'm going to let you know what's going on. So that's good. That's nice. So that's in a nutshell. Try to give you more info from what was on my last video. Anyway, I've learned not to be so scared of these nickel irons. I'm overly cautious sometimes. Anyway, this is vinegar. You want this as an antidote to get this KOH on you. It doesn't burn right away, but just if you get in your mucous membranes or eyes or something, you want to watch that. So we'll take a look in there, see what's going on. I just came off because it's busted. We can't tell, but we can hear them. They're bubbling. Bubble, bubble, toil and trouble, right? So they're kicking off a little hydrogen gas, hopefully, and I'll have to fill them up, with distilled water a little bit here soon, I think, and And that's another thing. I need to do a video on my distiller I bought. It's still in the box. Haven't hooked it up yet. You're gonna need a distiller if you have these nickel-ion batteries, because they're thirsty. That's what everybody says anyway. So if you have a distiller, you can make your own distilled water. And there's some that say distilled water is good for health, so check that out. I'm undecided on that. Okay, well, this is Military Industrial Museum. You know the drill.